Hey everyone, and welcome. When you hear the word average, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's a specific calculation we learned in school. But, in the world of data, average can actually mean three pretty different things. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and really understand this concept by diving into the mean, median, and mode. To get us started, let's imagine a scenario. Let's say you're thinking about moving to a new town, and you want to know what's the typical salary here. Sounds like a simple enough question, right? Well, let's take a look at the actual numbers. So, here are the salaries for a handful of residents. Most are kind of clustered together, between $32,000 and $51,000. But then, whoa, look at that last one. Someone is earning $5.2 million. This is what we call an outlier, and it can completely throw off our idea of what a typical salary is. All of a sudden, our simple question just got a whole lot more complicated. So, how in the world do we deal with that? Well, we use something called measures of central tendency. I know, it's a fancy sounding term, but it's for a really simple idea: finding one single number that best represents the middle or the heart of a whole group of numbers. This is basically our toolkit for making sense of it all. Okay, let's open up this toolkit. Our first and most common tool is the mean. I want you to think of the mean as the power drill in your toolkit. It's powerful, it's usually the first thing people reach for, and honestly, it gets a lot of jobs done really well. The mean is what most of us think of when we say average, and the definition is just what you'd expect. You add up every single value you have, and then you just divide by the number of values you added. And here it is, the formula. It's really that simple. Sum of everything divided by the count of everything. Let's see it with a quick example. This shows it perfectly. We've got 5 numbers here: 27, 11, 17, 19, and 21. First step, add them all up. That gives us 95. And since there are 5 numbers, we divide 95 by 5. And boom, we get a mean of 19. Simple, powerful, effective. All right, next tool in the box, the median. Now, if the mean is the power drill, the median is like a level. It's not about calculating some mathematical balance point. Nope. It's all about finding the true physical center of your data, no matter how wild some of the numbers get. Finding the median is a super simple 2-step process. First, you absolutely have to line up all your numbers in order, from the smallest to the largest. Once you've done that, your only job is to find the one number that's sitting right in the exact middle of that line. If you have an odd number of values, it's a piece of cake. Look here, we have 9 numbers, all nice and orderly. The one right smack in the middle, the 5th one, is 26. That's it. That's our median. But, okay, what happens if you have an even number of data points, like these 10 we have here? There's no single number in the middle. No problem at all. You just take the 2 middle numbers, in this case 26 and 28, add them up, and divide by 2. Your median is 27. Easy. And now for our third and final tool, the mode. Let's think of the mode as the label maker in our toolkit. It couldn't care less about how big or small the numbers are or where they are in line. It's only concerned with one thing: popularity. The definition couldn't be simpler. The mode is just the value that shows up most frequently in your data. Which number appears more than any other? That, my friends, is your mode. Just take a quick look at this set of numbers, a quick scan, and you can see the number 3 just keeps popping up, right? It appears 4 times, which is way more than anything else. So the mode here is 3. It really is that simple. Now, here's something that makes the mode a little unique. A set of data can actually have more than one mode. If 2 numbers are tied for being the most frequent, then you've got 2 modes. It's also totally possible to have no mode at all, if every single value just appears once. Okay, so we've got these 3 fantastic tools: mean, median, and mode. But here's the million-dollar question. How do you know which one to use? Well, let's open up the user manual and figure it out. It really all comes down to the shape of your data. On the one hand, data can be symmetrical, like that nice, balanced bell curve you see on the left. Or it can be skewed, like the graph on the right, where you've got this long tail stretching out to one side. This shape, this is the secret to choosing the right tool for the job. So when your data is nice and symmetrical, like that classic bell curve, the mean is an awesome choice. In fact, in a perfectly symmetrical set of data, the mean, the median, and the mode are all the exact same number, sitting right there at the peak. That makes the mean a super accurate and reliable measure of the center. But
If your data is skewed, or if you've got those big, significant outliers, remember our $5.2 million salary, then the median is your best friend. Why? Well, because that huge number will pull the mean way, way up, but it doesn't affect the median one bit. The median just stays put right in the true center of the actual data points.
So what about the mode? Well, the mode is perfect for what we call categorical data, basically data that fits into categories instead of being numbers. If you're running a survey asking about favorite colors, you can't really calculate the mean of blue and red, right? But you can easily find the mode. Which color got picked the most often? So let's have a quick cheat sheet to pull this all together. The mean is your mathematical average, and it's best for symmetrical data. The median is the middle value, and it's your go-to for skewed data with outliers. And the mode is the most frequent value, perfect for categorical stuff. Okay, let's go all the way back to our salary problem. In that town, with 9 people earning $50,000 and just one person earning $5.2 million, the mean salary gets yanked all the way up to a whopping $565,000. But the median salary, the actual middle value, stays right at $50,000. So which number really tells the true story of what a typical person earns in that town? It's the median, hands down. And that really brings us to the final, most important point. The next time you're reading a report or a news article and it mentions an average price or an average salary, what's the first question that should pop into your head? It should be, wait, which average are they using? Mean, median, or mode? Because now you know. It makes all the difference in the world.